Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishnaya Buddhave Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishnu Shashunyavadi Ashatavedeshatarine Vancha Kalpatarupasya Kripa Sindhuvarevacha Patitanam Bhavebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for coming today evening. And today I'll speak on a topic which is of relevance to all of us. That is, how do we know what is the right thing to do in life? That is the question of Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, and that is the question that drives the Mahabharata. So, Pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha. Arjuna asks Krishna in 2.7, what is dharma? Now, dharma is not just some religious code. Dharma is actually the right thing to do. The action that keeps us in harmony with the nature of reality. The action that is harmonious with who we are and who we are meant to be. So, now we all know that there are times in our life when we have to make decisions. At one level, at every moment we have to make decisions. So right now you make a decision to come for this program or not come for this program. Even if you are sitting for this program, you are making a decision whether to pay attention or not pay attention. So, now there are some decisions which are relatively easy to make. Some decisions are very difficult to make. So there are, broadly speaking, you could say two kinds of confusions. There could be moral confusion and there is ethical confusion. Sometimes moral and ethical are used in interchangeable sense. But moral confusion is where there's path A is right and path B is wrong, but still we just don't have the moral strength to do what is right. Whereas ethical confusion is where we don't know what is right. And so we need to function in life, we often say that we need values. Now what do we mean by values? Actually values, we talk about honesty, truthfulness, trustworthiness, or whatever, we can talk about these values. But what do we actually mean by values? See, our values determine what we consider as valuable. What we consider as valuable is reflected by our values. So if somebody values, say, punctuality, and then if somebody comes late, they will just not able to bear it. I had gone for one place for a program. I had one program on Sunday, and the next program was after 2 hours. I had a meeting with one of the leaders over there, and I left. So the ET was saying that it will take about 1 hour, and I was going to reach about 5 minutes late. So I was in anxiety. And I called the preacher and I said that, you please start Kirtan and I will come. And I was in anxiety and they were remarkably cool. And then finally I reached at 5:30, I went rushed to the temple, there was nobody there. I said, what happened? He said, we know preachers come late, so the program is 6:30 but we told him 5:30. So now, if somebody is very kind, I will get very angry. So, how could you like? So, our values reflect what is valuable for us. So now we all say that we need values, which is true, but we also need not just values, we need the right hierarchy of values. That means sometimes two values may come in conflict. Say, if we are, say one value might be truthfulness. We should always speak the truth, which is important. So, if somehow, say we have a friend who is being targeted by some violent people, maybe some riot is going on, and that friend comes to our house, please save me. And we hide our friend in our basement or somewhere. And then those rioters come and knock on the door. Is he there? Now what should we do? What do you think we should do? We cannot tell the truth. So I may say I have the value of truthfulness, but the value of truthfulness is not enough. I need the right hierarchy of values. Speaking truth is important, but preserving life is even more important. And the right hierarchy of values means that I value life more than preserving life, more than speaking the truth. So when there is dharma sammoha, as it happens in the Mahabharata, in the start of the Bhagavad Gita, it is what is the right hierarchy of values. So Arjuna is confused about that. And this is a very complicated question. Because sometimes we may all have different roles to do. In the start of the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna has this dharma sammoha jita. I want to know what is dharma. And Krishna answers by giving an elaborate philosophy, and sometimes we feel, where is the answer in the philosophy? But the philosophy is actually helping us build a hierarchy of values. And then through that hierarchy of values, we can apply that to specific questions. So, broadly speaking, with respect to ethics, ethics is basically about what is the right thing to do. There are two broad understandings of ethics. That one is categorical ethics, and the other is contextual ethics. Categorical ethics is this, that this is the category of right and that is the category of wrong. This is what we should do and this is what we should not do. And we see in the Mahabharata, there are some, in fact the whole Mahabharata is actually evolution of characters from categorical ethics towards contextual ethics. So we see two characters who are stuck with categorical ethics throughout and they don't meet a very good end. Those are Karna and Bhishma. Now Yudhishthir also starts with categorical ethics, but then gradually he moves towards contextual ethics. So a simple example, can I presume that everybody knows the basic story of the Mahabharata? I will mention the basic incidents wherever I understand, but I won't go into the story at this point. So now, see how categorical ethics would be utterly impractical or would be totally counterproductive. So Yudhishthir is known to be very truthful. He is Dharmaraj. But the Pandavas have to live the terms of the exile. Does anyone know what were the terms of the exile for the Pandavas? What were they? Sorry? Sorry?
They should live incognito for
1 year.
Yeah, incognito for 1 year after 12 years of exile. Now if they are going to live incognito and anybody asks Yudhishthir, who are you? Now, if he speaks the truth at that time, it's over, isn't it? So, at that point, he just can't speak the truth. So, speaking the truth is important. But the context is such that speaking the truth will instantly defeat the purpose of what he's trying to do. So, he has this categorical ethics. He says, initially he has this idea that Dhritarashtra is like a father figure for me, and whatever Dhritarashtra says, I will obey. And Dhritarashtra, through Vidura, calls him for a gambling match. And Yudhishthira has no desire to gamble. But he can't refuse. And then he's incited and he just gambles everything away. It's a disastrous loss. So he has this virtue of being truthful, which is very good, but he recognizes that that is not the only way to act all the time. Now again, I am not licensing speaking lies. We don't want to say that any time like that for our convenience we start speaking lies. That's not the point. The point is how all this is applied has to be very carefully done. But I'm giving you this as a simple example of how categorical ethics will not work. So even from a simple perspective, say if I come into America, and now I might be very spiritually realized, and I understand I'm a soul, and I belong to the spiritual world. If they ask me what is my name, I'm a soul. I cannot like that. You know, where I come from the spiritual world. So even if that is my spiritual understanding, I cannot like that. So there are multiple levels of reality also. It is the reality that we are all souls. It is also a reality that we are citizens of a particular country. It is a reality that at present, based on our body, and it's where we have been born, we have a particular name, we have a particular skin color. So all these we can't change. So the point is that speaking the truth is a virtue, but we will look at the context. So categorical ethics is, this is the right thing and this is always the right thing. Context doesn't matter. Contextual ethics is, yes, we accept categories. This is right, this is wrong. But between white and black, there are shades of grey. And in those shades of grey is where most of our life is. Not most, it's a significant part of our life is. And how we navigate that is important. So when scripture teaches us dharma, it doesn't simply give us laws. Do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this. There are some principles which are do's and don'ts. But life is extremely complex. And we can't simply impose laws on all situations without considering the situation. So let's look at, so Yudhishthira starts with categorical ethics. I'll always obey my elders. I'll always speak the truth. But eventually, when he sees that he's put in a conditioned situation in cognitive anxiety, he just can't speak the truth. Otherwise, again he'll have to go for again. So he's put in a situation where he can't speak the truth. When he finds his elders are manipulating him or exploiting him instead of protecting him, he still he's never openly disrespectful towards Dhritarashtra. But Dhritarashtra uses a very cunning strategy just before the Kurukshetra war is about to happen. He says, "Oh Yudhishthira, everybody who is a Grahastha has to renounce the world and eventually take Vanaprastha." He says, "You are so fortunate, you are already a Vanaprastha. Why do you want to become a Grahastha? Just stay in the forest." This is what is called rationalize. Have you heard of rationalize? What is the spelling of rationalize? RATIONALLIES. Rationalize. When we rationalize, we tell rational lies. So the lies that sound rational. Now yes, it is true that after Grahastha one should be getting a retired order of life. But that philosophy is being used very cynically to deprive the Pandavas of their rights and to let Duryodhana have his ill-gotten gains. So, Yudhishthira is very polite, but still is firm. And he says that we have not yet completed our duties to our ancestors. We have not yet begotten children to continue our lineage. We have not yet performed our duty to the sages. Generally, there are various duties which you have to do. And that's why we cannot take one of us right now. To use his reasons. But the point is, at this stage, that he doesn't simply uncritically obey his elders. Now again, I'm not justifying rejecting or disrespecting one's elders again. I'll have to give this caveat repeatedly. The point is that no value can be uncritically established as supreme value without considering context. So, contextual ethics means we have to look at three things. What do you mean by context? Context means situation. And what does the situation determine? Broadly speaking, there is the particular action that we are going to do. Now, when we have contextual ethics, that means we consider three things. Not just the content of the action, what I am doing, but the intent and also the consequence. The content, intent and consequence. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? And what will be the result of doing this? So all these three need to be considered. So I am speaking a lie when some bride is asking me, is your friend there at your house? No. So why am I asking this? So that I can save someone's life. So we have to consider the intent and the consequence along with the content. And this is the evolution that the Mahabharata goes through. The leading characters of the Mahabharata go through. And some people who are stuck with the idea of context, categorical ethics, they say the Pandavas also did wrong. They also did certain things wrong. Yes, they did certain things wrong. But if you consider, their purpose was virtuous. Their purpose was they were dharmic, they were virtuous, and they wanted to establish the rule of virtue. So the world is not an ideal place. So we want to live according to ideals, but we also have to recognize how people are. And sometimes if our ideals are going to be exploited by others, then we have to live for the ideals, but we have to live in the real world for those ideals. So how to do that is always a challenge. So now let's put it this way, that there are good people who sometimes do bad things. And there are good people who do good things, there are bad people who do bad things. And in between, there are good people who do bad things, and there are bad people who do good things. So now, how do we decide somebody is good or bad? It's not so easy. But broadly, I would say that there is weakness and there is wickedness. Weakness is something which we all have. Say weakness means we all have, say, anger or greed or lust or whatever. And under the influence, we come up with such force that we end up doing something wrong. But then after that we regret it. I shouldn't have done this. So we have intelligence. I should not have done this. We have conscience. Intelligence helps us rationally understand this. I shouldn't have done this. Conscience makes us feel bad after we have done that. So those who have weakness, they recognize I have done wrong. But those who have wickedness, their conscience has become completely deadened. They do bad and they don't feel bad about doing bad. In fact, they do bad and think, just see how clever I am, how much pain I can cause to this person. And their intelligence doesn't think about how to control their anger or lust or greed. Their intelligence becomes a servant of their lust, anger, greed. And they use their intelligence to scheme, to act in a way that they can be greedy, they can be violent, and then they can get away with it. So, if you consider a spectrum, weakness and wickedness. So, weakness is something which is reformable. Wickedness is also reformable. But wickedness, at least the person needs to begin with the desire to reform. Often people with wickedness have no desire to reform also. Because they don't think anything is wrong. So what Yudhishthira did, say in the gambling match, it was at one level, we could say Yudhishthira is transcendental, is pure devotee, everything is orchestrated by the Lord. That's true. But if we want to learn some ethical lessons for our behavior, then we can say that okay, the action that Yudhishthira did over there was wrong. Now it was a grievous wrong. He was provoked by the circumstances, but he gambled everything away. And Yudhishthira himself says, when Draupadi is furious of him in the forest, how could you gamble your brothers? how could you gamble me? He says, in the heat of the moment, through gambling I got carried away. So some people they say that, if you wish to also gamble, then why can't we gamble? Now if you see what scripture is teaching is a very different lesson. It is saying that if a person as virtuous as Yudhishthir, if he gambles, he gets into so much trouble. If we gamble, then what will happen to us? So, we see that here, that it was a moment of weakness. And it was very cynically and very viciously exploited by Duryodhan, Shakuni and company. So it led to terrible loss, but he regretted it. And he didn't do that again. And one of the things that Yudhishthira did in the forest was he learned gambling. Now you say, I already got in so much trouble by gambling, why did you learn gambling? But he knew that Duryodhan might challenge him for another gambling match. He wanted to be prepared for that. So he didn't gamble for his gambling mistake, but he learned, he repented his mistake and he tried to correct it. So there's weakness which was overcome. Now Duryodhan, he represents not weakness but wickedness. He tried to poison the Pandavas, he tried to poison Bhima, he tried to burn the Pandavas along with their mother. Then he defrauded the Pandavas and everything, tried to dishonor their wife. He did all this, and at the end of it, when after the Pandavas lived for 13 years, as per the terms of the exile, he was not ready to give anything back to them. And all the sages and elders were advising him that don't wrong the Pandavas, give them back their kingdom. And he said, why are you blaming me? After great introspection, I don't see anything wrong that I have done. And he says, if at all I have done anything wrong, I am simply acting according to my nature. So if anyone is to be blamed, you blame the Creator who gave me my nature. Now, see, our past, it explains our emotions. Sometimes some people are very short-tempered. Our past explains our emotions, but our past doesn't excuse our actions. Somebody may have a tendency towards being short-tempered, but just because I'm short-tempered doesn't mean I can take a gun and shoot people. So we have to consider our past. But if we blame our past for our actions, then what it means is we are acknowledging that we have no power at all. So we are products of our past, but we are not prisoners of our past. Our past shapes who we are, and it creates certain pushes within us. But we have free will, and by that free will we can counter push. So Duryodhan did not feel that I had done anything wrong. And that was wickedness. And that's why, see, weakness can be given forgiveness. But to offer forgiveness to wickedness is foolishness. Suppose terrorists are there, and they are shooting around people indiscriminately. And then their gun power gets over. And there are police, and they are shooting. And then I say, oh, I'm sorry, please I surrender, forgive me. And then the policeman puts the gun down, and the terrorist picks his gun and shoots the police. Of course this example can be elaborated, but the point I'm making is that you cannot, forgiveness is important. And forgiveness, for most of our relationships, we shouldn't assume that people have wickedness. Most people have weakness. But if somebody doesn't even feel that they're doing anything wrong, and they keep repeatedly doing that, then at that time to offer forgiveness is foolishness. They will only hurt us more. So now, here what we're talking about is how do we know the right thing to do? So some people say, why did Krishna tell Arjuna to fight the war? No, God should, why should we should have peace? Yes, we should have peace. But, you see, nowadays the United Nations, it sends all over the world peacekeeping force. Now you need force to keep peace. The force also means violence. there are times when certain people, then you need aggression to prevent aggression. You need aggression to prevent aggression. So, for wickedness, what is the right thing to do? You cannot simply have indiscriminate forgiveness. So, the Yudhishthira followed that. But it only made things worse and worse and worse. Initially, when Bhima was poisoned, Yudhishthira said, it's a family issue, don't just be more careful, don't make a big issue out of it. And then, even when they were attempted to be burned alive, they escaped. When they came back, they didn't blame the Kauravas. They just acted as if, okay, something happened. And they put the past behind. But when Draupadi was dishonored, a line was crossed. And then, and eventually, even after 12, 13 years, when they came back and Duryodhana had no remorse, no reformation, then they said that we cannot have forgiveness over here. So for us, so now let's look at, I talk about these two characters. We have Yudhishthira and we have Duryodhana. Now in between we have various shades of grey. So sometimes good people might do bad things, and sometimes bad people might also do good things. Duryodhana did one good thing was that he helped Karna in his moment of need. When Karna was not allowed to compete, he said, I will make you Kshatriya, I'll give you a king. So he did a good thing at that time. And there's no need to deny that he did a good thing. But he had his own purposes with it. He wanted to use Karna as a foil for Arjuna. So now let's look at these two characters, Karna and Bhishma. Now both of them to some extent operate based on categorical ethics. What is that? For Bhishma, he had made a vow that I will always protect the ruling king of the Kuru dynasty. And he had taken a vow long ago based on where his father wanted to marry Satyavati, and he wanted his father to be married to the woman he wanted to marry. I don't know the whole story, but he had taken a vow at that time. And he stuck to that vow. And he was told that I will, but what about you may not become the king, but what about your children? He said, I won't have children. I won't marry. So he took that vow for a very noble purpose. Now at that time when he took that vow, he would have had probably no idea that a wicked person like Duryodhana would ever be the effective ruler. Although Duryodhana was not the king, see the Dhritarashtra was on the throne, but Duryodhana was in power. So in India, before the current government, there's something similar. There was one person who was in the Prime Minister's office, the other person in power. So now, he would probably never have imagined that somebody like him would be the king. And he felt obliged that I have to fight for the Kauravas, for the Kuru king. And thus, in the Kuru battlefield, he chose to stay on the side of the Kauravas. Now, Karna also took a vow that he said, oh Duryodhana, you will have my eternal friendship. You have saved my honor, you have given me the honor of being a king, you have accepted me in the rank of Kshatriyas, I am indebted to you. Now, at that time, even Karna couldn't have imagined that Duryodhana would go to the extent of that he did. See, we don't really come to know people in one or two encounters. What does one or two encounters, we live with ourselves and we don't know ourselves also. Sometimes we do something, what did I do? And then somebody else asks, why did you do that? And then we have to come up with some explanation. Because we ourselves don't know why did I do that. So everybody is complex. We ourselves are complex, others are complex. So now, when he came to know that Duryodhana was so vicious, so we could say, in this case, that Karna, he was a virtuous person, he was charitable, he was chivalrous, he was a hero in many ways. But he got in touch with Duryodhana. And see, there is when there is weakness and when there is wickedness, and when the two come together, then either usually what happens is wickedness drags weakness down. Just like say a student goes to college. I was in a university I was speaking recently, and the college, the ethics department head, he came and was talking with me that, we have a drug epidemic in America. And there are drug peddlers. See, student life is stressful. There's so much competition, there's so much peer pressure, so many things are there. The students feel stressed. So they have weaknesses. I just want some relief from stress. And there are people with wickedness. There are drug peddlers. Just looking for somebody with weakness. And they will give a free sample. And then they will poke the students. So if weakness associates with wickedness, then usually weakness gets dragged down to wickedness. Now that's what happened to Karna. So Karna, he initially was very honorable, and when Duryodhana was making various schemes against the Pandavas, he said, why do you do all this? Let's call them to a fight, defeat them, and we will take the kingdom in a fair fight. Shakuni said, no, you are just a child, you don't know politics. And Duryodhana was more influenced by Shakuni than by Karna. And eventually it went so much that all of us, we need a place where we are accepted for who we are. And if that emotional need of being accepted is fulfilled by someone, we become we become very indebted to them. And sometimes again, gratitude is a good emotion, but sometimes gratitude can blind us. And in this case, he so desperately wanted a sense of belonging to the Kauravas that he actually ended up acting in wicked ways. In the gambling match, it was he who suggested, now that Draupadi has won, drag her into the assembly, make her one of the serving maids, let's disrobe her. This suggestion came from Karna, and this is horrible. And of course, later Karna regrets it. He says, in order to please Duryodhana, I acted terribly in the assembly. But what happened? He was not wicked, but he did act not just with weakness, but wickedness at times. Now, eventually, when the war came, before that, Krishna came and told Karna that you are the eldest Pandava and you can become the king. And you will have the king, you will have the honor that you want, and you will also have the side of virtue. But he operated based on categorical things. I have given my word to my friend Duryodhana, even if I die, I will stick to it. But what was his friend doing? His friend was acting viciously. There might be some actions which are questionable, but trying to dishonor Draupadi and defraud the Pandavas, there is no question about the wrongness of those actions. So by his categorical ethics, he refused Krishna's offer. And thus, he courted his own death. So Karna had a choice between the word of honor and a life of honor. Should I honor my word, or should I live a life that is honorable by choosing dharma? Unfortunately, operating on categorical ethics, he chose the word of honor. Now, something similar happens, we could say with Bhishma. But we see that Bhishma never degenerates to wickedness. Bhishma tries to oppose what the heinous act of Draupadi in this Rome. But at that time, because Bhishma operates very much in a rule-bound kind of conception of dharma. So, Draupadi raises the question over there that, as he says that, Draupadi raises the question that if Yudhishthira had gambled himself before, and he is not his own master, then how can he be my master? How can he gamble me? And then Bhishma says, yes, he says that because Yudhishthira, he gambled you. So, he says, wife belongs to the husband, the husband belongs to the wife. So, normally, a wife belongs to the husband. But if the husband is not his own master, can the husband gamble? Does the husband And even beloved to the husband, if he is in love to himself. He says that these two principles and they are confusing. So I don't know what is the right thing. So he gets victimized here by what is called as Niyamagraha. Niyamagraha is getting caught in the letter of the law and forgetting the purpose of the law. Okay, whether husband, wife belongs to the husband or not. The more important thing is that a woman should not be dishonored. Forget the technicalities of the law. But he gets too caught in the technicalities. So we could say that he does come, there's a mistake on his part also. But it is more passivity amidst wickedness rather than active wickedness. What karma does is active wickedness. And another thing is that Krishna never approaches Bhishma. That you come and fight on the side of the Pandavas. Now here we could say that Bhishma also operates according to categorical ethics. And from one perspective, because Bhishma remains silent, at least in the actively forcefully stop the disturbing of robbery, that's why he has to face a very painful end. His body pierced by so many arrows. And it's one thing to have the body pierced by arrows, but to stay like that for days upon days upon days. That's extremely painful. So that's one understanding of it. So he does get so here what we see is that he does get the consequences of their action. But he is not somebody who is actively wicked. So both of them operate on categorical ethics and they meet with a not such a good end. They end up choosing the wrong party. But at the same time, there's a higher understanding of this. Just like I said, I might give my identity that I am an Indian. But then there's a higher level of identity also, that I am also so. We can have various levels of identity. So similarly, if you have a computer, a mainframe computer, like it's a big central computer for a big organization. Now some people, the data entry operator, they just have access to some area of the computer where they just put in the data. Somebody, the higher level officer, they have access to many more files in the computer. Somebody who is CEO, they may have access to everything in the computer. So similarly, there is the concept of adhikar. Adhikar is level of authority. So when we study scripture, according to our adhikar, we get a certain understanding of scripture. So at the level of ordinary analysis, Bhishma does act wrongly based on categorical ethics. But there is a higher understanding. And that understanding is revealed in the Bhagavatam. So the Mahabharata gives this operational understanding. And the Bhagavatam says that actually Bhishma is a pure devotee. Now if he's a pure devotee, why does he act wrongly? Why does he stay on the wrong side? That is because Krishna wants him to be there. And that's why, as I said earlier, Krishna never goes to Bhishma trying to come on the Pandavas side. Now why would Krishna want Bhishma to be on the opposite side? Multiple reasons. One is that Krishna wants to demonstrate that even if a person as illustrious as Bhishma chooses the side of adharma, he will fall. Dharma will win and adharma will fall no matter who backs adharma. Another thing is, Bhishma and Krishna have a very extraordinary relationship. It's called Viryaras, where Krishna wants to see Bhishma as an aggressor fighting against him and his devotee. And there is an amazing incident when the same Krishna who has taken a vow, I will not raise any weapons, Bhishma is about to kill. Bhishma is about to kill Arjuna. Now Arjuna can't fight wholeheartedly. Arjuna feels that this is my grandfather. He said, when I was a small child, I would come after playing and in the fields, and I would sit on his clothes and I would soil his clothes by my feet, and then I would play with his beard, and I would ask him, Father, Father, and then he would fondle my hair and say, Child, I am not your father, I am the father of your father. So he said, how can you fight against this person? So now Arjuna is fighting half-heartedly and Bhishma is fighting wholeheartedly. Bhishma doesn't want to hurt Arjuna, but Bhishma wants the world to know how much Krishna loves his devotees. And as he wants to see what Krishna will do to protect his devotees. And with the devotional intention, so they talk about intent, content and consequence. So the content is he's been fighting against the Lord and his devotees. But indeed, he wants the world to know how much the Lord loves his devotees. And as he fights wholeheartedly, slowly it becomes clear that Arjuna is going to get wounded, Arjuna may be killed also. And Krishna becomes pensive. And then Krishna looks around and he sees nearby a wheel. Now on that battlefield there were swords, there were bows and arrows, there were spears. Why a wheel? Now Krishna is so anxious that he sees that wheel and that reminds him of his own Sudarshan Chakra. And he just, at one level is on the chariot, next, at one moment is on the chariot, next moment is jumped off the chariot, ran to the wheel and picked up the wheel. Now normally if people fight with swords, they are close to each other. If you are fighting with arrows, there is some distance. So there is some distance between Arjuna and Bhishma. So Krishna starts whirling the wheel and charging towards Bhishma. And as soon as Bhishma sees Krishna charging, Bhishma puts on his bow. So, oh Kesava, tell that your hands with the perfection of my life. And Krishna is so angry, he says, you are the cause of this war. If a king got on the wrong track, it is the duty of the minister to stop him. Because you failed to stop Dhritarashtra, you are the cause of this war. So I was charging towards him. And Bhishma is saying, I tried my best. But Dhritarashtra was so attached to you that he never listened to me. You are the best judge of things. Now when Arjuna sees this, oh, Krishna has jumped off his chariot, Krishna is running. Arjuna is concerned not about his own life, he is concerned about Krishna's honor. Krishna has taken a vow that I will not raise a weapon. And although Sudarshan Chakra is not a weapon, but critics will say it's a weapon. And he used it as a weapon. So then he calls out to Krishna, stop, I will fight, I will kill Bhishma, please don't, you don't raise weapons. But Krishna is blinded, Krishna doesn't hear at all. And then Arjuna jumps off his chariot and runs. Now Krishna has already got a head start. So now Arjuna just runs and it's like a flying tackle. And he catches Krishna's foot from below. And Krishna is running so fast that Krishna drags Arjuna along. And Arjuna finally, so they come, Bhishma and Krishna just come very close to each other. Finally, Arjuna raises his heavy Kshatriya legs and bangs them on the ground. He bangs them on the ground with such force that it creates a ditch in the field. And his leg gets stuck in the ditch. And now his legs are in the ditch and he's holding on to Krishna's foot. Krishna's legs. And then Krishna comes to a grinding stop. And that time Krishna says, Krishna, I will fight wholeheartedly. Please don't break your vow. And then at that time Krishna comes to external consciousness. Now Krishna, we don't see any other time. Let's say when Shishupal was there, Krishna just sent his Sudarshan Chakra from there itself. So Krishna doesn't run to Shishupal and Sudarshan Chakra. He could have hauled his wheel from here also. But Krishna was so anxious for the protection of Arjuna that suppose you want to, if you're shooting somebody from a distance, you might miss. So you go close and shoot point blank. So like that, he wants to make sure that I don't miss Bhishma. So he goes right up to him. So this is Bhishma's devotional heart. And that is why, so although he had this, all of us have particular natures. And sometimes we can't change our nature. Somebody might be short-tempered. And even after practicing bhakti, they may be short-tempered. See, different people's, some people's anger might be more circumstantial, some people's anger might be very deep-rooted. So they may be very devotees, they may be very deep devotees, very serious devotees, but still they will be serious, angry devotees. Their anger will be for Krishna only, but still it will be anger. So now for some people their anger is quite superficial, their anger gets purified and goes away. So we can't just, you get so angry, how can you be a devotee? Not like that. If overall their life is devoted to Krishna, if sometimes anger comes up, we don't take it that seriously. Of course, we have to be cautious in dealing with them. But the point is that he operated according to categorical ethics because that's how he used to feel. But that did not increase his devotion. And eventually, Krishna recognized his devotion. And that's why Krishna came to him. So if he had simply been an attached person who chose the wrong side because he operated in categorical ethics, then Krishna wouldn't have brought Yudhishthir to Bhishma to give instruction. And Bhishma gives elaborate instructions. Although he's on the arrow bed, his consciousness is so elevated, and Krishna blesses him with transcendental consciousness that he gives elaborate instructions. The Shanti Parva and the Anushasan Parva are two big parvas in the Mahabharata where Bhishma's instructions to the Yudhishthira are given. And amazingly profound instructions are there over there. So the point is that Krishna recognizes Bhishma's devotion and he rewards Bhishma's devotion. Pashyabhupanukampitam Thapi Kanta Bhakteshu Pashyabhupanukampitam Sakshat Krishno Darshanamagata Yadme Sunstajata Sakshat Krishno Darshanamagata. So he says that just see how merciful Krishna is to his unflinching devotee, that at the moment of death he has come to give his personal darshan. And Bhishma has what is his perfect departure. So Bhishma does make some wrong choices, we could say at an operational level. Now the wrong choices have consequences. He fights at the wrong side and he has to die because of that. So, but Krishna doesn't neglect Bhishma's bhakti because of his wrong decisions. And Krishna does not, in the name of bhakti, neglect his wrong decisions. His wrong decisions have consequences. If somebody has diabetes and there's gulab jamun prasad. This is prasad. Yes, and you take prasad and you say, oh, you get a diabetic attack. But this was prasad. Well, even the rice was prasad, isn't it? So we could take a rice, but if I take gulab jamun, then material actions will have material consequences. So we have to be aware of the material, but we don't have to keep our awareness stuck only at the material. So Bhishma is a devotee. Bhishma at one level operates according to categorical ethics, but at another level he is devoted to Krishna. Karna on the other hand, he rejects Krishna's offer and he commits himself to the one who is you could say doggedly opposed, obstinately opposed to Krishna and Krishna's devotees. And that's why although both of them operate according to categorical ethics, still death's teaching is very different. So for all of us, what does this mean? We all want to function in the world in a way that we move toward Krishna and we help others move toward Krishna. And how do we do that? That requires maturity. Because maturity means we have certain rules which we want to follow, which is important. But more important than following the rules is keeping in mind the purpose of the rules. And seeing through the situation, how can I move toward Krishna? How can I get this person to move toward Krishna? So, as devotees, we try to avoid food with onion garlic. So once the devotees in India, I had been invited to a person's house, and Prabhupada was also gone to the house. And there, they saw that the food had been cooked with onion garlic. Now, what to do? Now, one of the devotees said to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, there is onion in this food. Prabhupada said, there is no onion in this food. He said, no, Prabhupada, there is onion in this food. Prabhupada said, there is no onion in this food. And finally, this devotee, he actually took some piece of onion and he showed it to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, there is onion here. And Prabhupada said, there is no onion in this food. Prabhupada was so grave that the devotee became silent after that. And then, Prabhupada, after they all took that food, and then they came back, and then Prabhupada told them, for a pious Indian family, if a sadhu comes to their house and offers food, that's a very considered a very great thing. And if a sadhu goes away from their house without taking food, they consider that as a disaster. He said it was our mistake that we didn't tell them clearly in advance that we don't take food with onion garlic. So there is a rule, but the point of the rule is also to be considered. So again, I'm not giving a license to eat food with onion garlic. That's not the point. The point here is that we can't simply impose rules on every situation. So Prabhupada considers, yes, we don't take food with onion garlic, but there if we are going to alienate people so much that they feel it's a disaster for them, then better be careful. Better be careful. So Prabhupada gave very strongly categories. This is what you have to do, this is what you should not do. But Prabhupada did not operate based on categorical ethics. He operated based on contextual ethics. So what will bring this person closer to Krishna? That's what he looked at and that's what he focused on. In a way by which, intelligently, he could bring people to Krishna. So once Prabhupada was invited to a akhada. It's like akhada is you could say, the Indian version of a gymnasium. And there were people who were doing the physical bodybuilding and they had a picture of Hanuman. I was wondering what will Prabhupada speak over there. This is all bodily consciousness. And no, Prabhupada said that all of you are building your body. That's very good. In a society, Kshatriyas are needed. They are needed to protect society from wrongdoers. And your idea is Hanuman. You know, Hanuman also chanted the name of Ram. So when Prabhupada says, while you are doing your sit-ups, push-ups, Ram, 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 Ram. So Prabhupada appreciated what they were doing. He didn't say, what is this? You're simply building your body. He said, they appreciated what they were doing and they elevated them to it. They had to bring Krishna into them. So when we are functioning in our life, we first get education to know what is categorical ethics. This is right, this is wrong. It's very important. But when we have to function in our life, we have to look at our intent, we have to look at the consequence of what we are going to do. And then we act accordingly. That way, we will move toward Krishna and we will take others toward Krishna. And even if sometimes we make some wrong choices, if our purpose is good, Krishna will give us the intelligence to understand, okay, this choice was not the best thing, change your course and move forward. So we keep the purpose in mind, and by that purpose, we can get guided from Krishna. Dadami buddhiyo kantam yenamam payamam tite. Krishna will give us the intelligence by which we can come to Him. So I will summarize what I spoke today. I spoke on the topic of how do we know what is the right thing to do. And in that context, I started by talking about broadly how we talk about values. Values reflect what is valuable for us. We all have to make decisions, and some decisions are difficult because sometimes what is the right thing to do is difficult to know. But when that happens, when moral crisis is, where one choice is moral, another is immoral. Ethical crisis, both choices are right, but which is more right? So we need not just the right values, but we need the right hierarchy of values. So when Arjuna asks what is dharma, Krishna doesn't give a simple answer because that answer would not be universal. Krishna gives a philosophy within which there is a hierarchy of values are explained. And then Arjuna can make wise choices. So what is this? I talk about the two conceptions of ethics, is categorical and contextual. So the Mahabharata reflects how characters move from categorical to contextual ethics. Categorical ethics means this is right, this is wrong, and that's all there is to it. Contextual means yes, there are categories, but I also have to consider intent and consequence. So Yudhishthira starts with categorical ethics, but you could say evolves towards the contextual ethics. Bhishma and Karna stayed with categorical ethics all the time. We talk about Yudhishthira's gambling was a moment of weakness. Duryodhana had not weakness but wickedness. So weakness needs to be overlooked, but wickedness needs to be countered. And sometimes bad people may do good things, that doesn't make them good. And good people may do bad things, that doesn't make them bad. And in between the black and white and black, there are the shades of grey. So if you Karna, he operated on categorical ethics and he ended up, he had some weakness that he was attached to Duryodhana, who was wicked. And that made him act wickedly. So he actively instigated wickedness. Now Bhishma also operated according to categorical ethics and he got caught in technicalities, niyamagraha. But he never actively became wicked. So his characters are completely higher, at a very higher level than Karna's. All of them are extraordinary characters. So at operational level, Bhishma did make a wrong choice based on categorical ethics. But at a spiritual level, just like I talked about computer, you can see it's functioning at various levels. That's simply a data storage device or the information processing device. as the decision guiding device, depending on how much access you have to the data and resources of the computer. So at a higher level, Bhishma acted to please Krishna. How to please Krishna? By demonstrating that even if a person as illustrious as him takes the side of adharma, still he will fail, because dharma will ultimately win. And also by giving Krishna an experience of virya rasa by fighting against him, by becoming an instrument for Krishna to demonstrate to the world how much Krishna loves his devotees, that Krishna is ready to break his word also for his devotees' sake. And then finally, Krishna rewarded Bhishma by giving his own darshan at the moment of his death and receiving instruction from him. So for us, when we are trying to practice in our lives, we first get the education to understand categorical ethics. But then, like Srila Prabhupada was sensitive to context, we also act in a way that not simply applying the rules rigidly in life, but seeing the purpose of the rules, which is for ourselves to go toward Krishna and to help others move toward Krishna, and then acting accordingly. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yes. Are there any questions?
I have one question for that. My question is, you talked about two kind of ethics, categorical and conditional. So when Durga was in service, Durga in Drupadi, in front of 5 Pandavas, they sat down and did not. So why they did not move from categorical to contextual ethics properly?
See, when Duryodhana slipped and fell, at that time the Pandavas remained silent. Okay, yes, it's there are different levels. Normally, if somebody sees somebody slipping and falling, you would immediately run and help them to pick them up, or help them in whatever you can. But if somebody is already very puffed up and proud, and then that person slips and falls, then what happens? There's a part of us which is annoyed because of their arrogance, and when a puffed up person falls, it is just okay. That's what it is. Now that's not what, now when everybody started laughing, it was not with a malicious intent. It's just innocent. And Yudhishthira said, don't laugh. And then immediately he ordered his attendants to take some towels for him to dry. But in that time, yes, he did laugh. But it was not with a malicious intent. And anyway, even if it was, even if we agree for argument's sake, that okay, it was a mistake. But you have to have a sense of proportion. When we slip and fall down and somebody laughs at us, and as a revenge for that, you dishonor an honorable lady by disrobing her, there is no sense of proportion. Even if somebody has done something wrong and wants to get back at them. The justice means that the retribution is in proportion to the wrongdoing, not in proportion to the anger that is felt about the wrong. So it was innocent, it was just circumstantial. And even if it was a mistake, what Duryodhana did in response was horrendous, completely disproportionate.
But do you think like, when I read Gita, I hear about power, I try to take that to our life. Power is nothing but our life. Yes. If you see power, mostly, it is how this world really evolved. There's the politics, there's the human character, everything. So when I see that, and I see my wife, and if somebody really dishonor her, my responsibility is to kill her, or kill and protect her. When I got married, in Hindu religion, we took a vow to protect her wife, right? Or my daughter, everyone. Okay. Because that's the really reason why they are supposed to vow. Okay. That's the main reason. And we could say also this, that in Mahabharata, the character of Drupadi is very important.
Okay, let me understand. Is this a comment or is this a question?
What is that?
Is this a comment or is it a question?
It's a comment. I'm talking about my thought process and then you can respond. So, Drupadi is very important because in our life, we have a wife, we have daughters, we have mothers, and so on. And so, we have seen over a period of time, you see go back to 10,000 years back or whatever it is. There's always a conflict. Guess what? Us who get person, woman, rape, and everyone. Is that right? So the thing is that I think this character has an important knowledge. You know what? But I think they fail to have. It's a weakness. It's what maybe I didn't understand. It's weakness.
There's 15 that's coming like 1 month and we finish them.
Yeah.
So was it weakness for the Pandavas to, when their wife was being dishonored, to stay passive over there? Yeah, that's how Draupadi felt about it. She felt very much let down by them. But it was Yudhishthira's sense of self-restraint at that time. Because he felt that I'm bound to them. So it's also a complex situation, because if he has sold himself, they are his masters, he can't oppose them. So it was the viciousness of Duryodhana to do that. It was the horrifying passivity of the Kshatriyas over there to not oppose that forcefully. And of course, it was the error of Yudhishthira to have gambled in the first place. But rather than seeing that as a failure, we see that even that Yudhishthira and the Pandavas were ready to tolerate. And even after that, Duryodhana kept provoking. So if somebody is that incorrigible, then they have to be exemplarily punished. And that's what happened in nature. You can talk maybe after the class. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. I have written a few books, just like I talked on Ramayana. I have written a book I talked on Mahabharata. This is a book on the Ramayana, wisdom from the Ramayana on life and relationships. So 20 incidents from the Ramayana told and analyzed to draw these life lessons. When backward people do bad things, how do we act? And why was Sita sent away even after she was won back by Ram in the war? Question they didn't answer. There's also a book on Gita wisdom through quotes, like I spoke certain statements, quotable statements during the class. Weakness can be forgiven, wickedness can't be forgiven. So things like that. You will see quotes inspired by the Bhagavad 365 quotes. And there are several other books also. If any of you want, you can have them outside. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Program. And again, thank you so much for you all being here very patiently, waiting, even though it was extreme weather. You would have chosen to stay at home, but you decided to drive down to this temple. So thank you. Even though we don't have the best facility, but we'll try to accommodate whatever best possible way we can. So thank you so much. Again, your appreciation should go a little further. Prabhuji writes those books, and to a writer, the best appreciation is if you buy and read the books, right? That's the so please come forward and the books that you want, Prabhuji may autograph you as well. So please see him after this program. And he will be here, sitting just here, or maybe in the other room. We can facilitate it there, right? You can have one-to-one time. So sorry, Prabhuji, I didn't want to cut you, but for the interest of the rest of the thing, so thank you again. So this program is possible with the support of the community and community members like yourself, many of you who come forward to do many services, or many of you will sponsor Sunday Feast. So today's Sunday Feast is sponsored by 2-3 families. So first of all, we have a Vitala grid program. So this grid program is extremely important because we are in the process of this building the temple, and every week when you come, you see some little improvement. Did you see some improvement this week? Yeah. And it looks very nice, isn't it? Right? So each one of those, ultimately your hard-earned money is going into that. So please have faith and trust on us. We continue to work, and you could see your investment, and with this infrastructure, what we are doing is very evident to you all. So this is the big program. We are trying to raise this fund, and the big cost hardly $1,000 to $2,000. There are two kinds of brick. So today, two families who had earlier sponsored the brick, we offer them free Sunday Feast. So two families, Lalita family and Vivekan family, we would like to recognize them at today's Sunday Feast on their names. Also, we have from Oak Brook, I don't see Mr. Jain is here. So Dr. Surendra Jain and his family. They were last week and they were very, very inspired. So today Sunday Fest they have sponsored. So we will give the prasadam, all of you who are here after the program. Next week Sunday Fest is slots. Although next week we don't have Sunday Fest. So just so another announcement. Next week we are celebrating Rath Yatra. So ISKCON Chicago, or I would say ISKCON Chicago night. We do many joint programs, and this is one of the programs that happens in Chicago. Lord Jagannath goes on the chariot around the city. So we invite all of you to come over there. So next Sunday we will not be having this Sunday program here. So I request everyone, if possible, please drive down to Chicago and find more details on the website, and please come over there. Secondly, whatever we do here is always possible with some kind donations from everyone. You can find many ways to donate. You have either construction or to run temple operations. So I want to announce today as a Kala Abhisekan, we received a check for $500 from N. Kapoor and Dinesh Kapoor family. So they did Janmashtami Abhisekan, but check came today. So you will give a big hand to all the donors. And so the next 20 minutes, we would like to take for one specific thing. So we have very successfully done this Janmashtami. Many of you work very, very hard. Many of you have contributed, but we never had a good time to say thank you, right? We just kept working, you worked hard, temple did whatever. But today is our day. We really want to thank you for everything that you have done. Sumangla Mataji and Janmashtami team, they have a very small program. So either you have done it, so please be here. If you have not participated, but give you a chance to at least encourage everyone who participated in the Janmashtami effort. So with that, I would like to hand over to Sumangla Mataji. She will do the announcement. It won't take much time, but I really need everyone to be here, if you can please. And then we'll go from the next. But last but not least, next Sunday, we don't have this Sunday this program. We'll start from the following Sunday. Prasadam will be served after this program, so please don't go down. If you are here, please wait for a few minutes. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. I would like to request everybody come forward, and prasadam will be served after the announcements. And I'm really sorry, it is 10 to 7. I'll try to wrap it as early as possible. But before starting, I would like to request everybody's patience, because it took 3 to 4 months to do this whole preparation, and I'm trying to appreciate them in 10-15 minutes. So please give little patience and encourage, so that we do better and better next year. So please, Janmashtami festival. We had such a great festival in terms of everything. If you start from setting up the tents outside, all the way till the end of the prasadam serving and cleaning up the entire space, the entire team left around 2 a.m. 2 a.m. That's when we closed the doors, 2 or 3 a.m. by the time the cleaning team was done. So it was 4 months effort, and everybody is involved, more than 200 to 300 volunteers involved in this effort. So I would like to go over each team. So first, in terms of Lakshmi that we raised, and in terms of the members came here, and also how their memory was like when they came here. Did they have a pleasant experience, or was it like, oh my God, I don't want to come here? Everyone, it was a very, very good feedback that we received, and it was a very memorable experience for not only for the devotees, but who have come for the first time. So we had 7,000 plus people, 2 days, the whole days. So let's give a big hand for that number. Thank you so much. Let's go with each team. Yes, the first team I started with is DT worship team. I would like to request everybody to keep it. Can somebody stay at the door to close the doors? Thank you. And this team was led by Krishna Murali Prabhu and other sub-team leads. As I said here, there are so many team lead members there. So I would like to request if Krishna Murali Prabhu or anybody from DT worship team is here, I would like to request them to the lead to come here. Okay, Krishna Murali Prabhu is here. Okay, here. Okay, while I am reading, after I am done, I would like to request the team members to stand up. I would like everybody to see and give a round of applause, So let's read out the names. I am going to read out the names. I know it's a big list, but we are going to read the names. Okay, Abhishekam team. Abhishekam team was led by Radha Kunjbihari Prabhu, and the members of the Abhishekam team, Premananda Mataji, His Grace Dhananjay Prabhu, Mohan Lila Prabhu, Balaram Prasad Prabhu, Chandramukhi Mataji, Raj Prabhu and Shrikant Prabhu. DB Racing Department, all the first and second stages. Midnight Party, that entire setup, you have seen so many people were there and setting up the aarti plates and everything, cleaning of them, lot of efforts. That team was led by Chandramukhi Mataji and assisted by Premananda Mataji, Radha Kunjbihari Prabhu's and team. Jula, the people, we raised, everybody had a chance to swing the Jula. It was such a good experience, and again it was led by Chandramukhi Mataji and Radha Kunjbihari Prabhu, assisted by Sandhya Mataji, Devi Shakti Mataji, Kshatrapa Mataji's mom, and Shavna Mataji. And then Kirtan. Entire time while the event was going on outside, but there was Kirtan in the temple hall. Whoever visited, they had a nice spiritual, memorable experience. So, Kirtan team was led by Kshatrapa Mataji and assisted by Nirantar Prabhu, Mukunda Prabhu, Shruti, Ravi Prabhu, Rohan, Srivatsa, Nandu, Kshatrapa Mataji, Mahati Mataji, and Amrita Kevi Mataji, and many others. So let's give a big hand for Mataji, Premananda Mataji, I would like to request, and Radha Kunjbihari Prabhu, if you could come forward.
He can take it.
Okay.
This is fine.
It would be great, Mataji, if you could. So these are some gifts for the entire team. I'm just handing over to the team lead, and along with this, there's a beautiful these are the fridge, the magnets. So and along with this, we are giving a token of a book for the entire team. I cannot give all the books to Radha Kunjbihari Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Please pass on to the team. Thank you so much. Let's give a big hand for before I move on to the next team, the deities, they were decorated so beautifully, and it takes so much of effort, at least 2 hours, just to dress the deities. But for the preparation, I would like to give a big hand for Kshatrapa Mataji and team. They have done a very, very wonderful job. And if you go back, these are some pictures. We could capture only few pictures, but if I put every picture, the whole PPT will be done. But it was such a great effort. And next team is cultural team. I would like to call Soumya Mataji and Vanita Mataji here. We had, maybe 16 to 17 performances throughout the 2 days on the stage. Around at least easily 100 plus participants. Just for the fashion parade, we had 125 kids. 2 rounds. So for coordinating this and coordinating about 10 to 15 classical dance teams and different performances. It took her 2 months before she started contacting each classical dance school teachers and all the people. So let's give a big hand for Banta. And the team, Ritika, Kritika, and Ravi Tyagi was the MC. Let's give a big hand for that. And Banta and Prabhu arranged the matka breaking. It was a big highlight of the program. Very, very good work. Thank you so much. Next team, cooking team. Alka Mataji, is she here or downstairs? Okay. Anybody from cooking team or any cooking leads, if they are here, I would like Sangeeta Mataji, please. So I would like to read the names, team members: Sangeeta Mataji, Peanut Mataji, Ritu Mataji, Pravina Mataji, Mamta Mataji, Kiran, Shrikant Prabhu, Alpesh Prabhu, Sanjeev Patel Prabhu, Nilesh, Sandhya, Dhananjay, Deepa, Deepu, Deepika, and Madhavi Matajis. Big list of Thank you so much. It was such a great work served. 2 days, Ekadashi Prasadam and Godre Prasadam. Shrikant Prabhu prepared the album for all the participants and everybody whoever visited. It was such a great effort. More than 600 meals we prepared for that, 600 to 700 in that small kitchen. So cooking team, let's give a big hand for Next team, let's see. Okay, we don't have some pictures, but whichever team leads, I got the pictures I posted. Next team is kids tent. I would like to call Anita Mataji here. This team, one of the great highlight of the Janmashtami is we were catering all different age groups. How we could serve them. When they come here, they need to be engaged. Someone would be connected with the deities, watching the deities and seeing the decorations, or connecting. Everybody definitely they would connect with the deities. That is the main purpose. But kids, when they see the deity, they can be there for only a flash of second. But we need to engage them. So Mataji's team, wonderfully, they put at least how many artworks we did? 6 to 7 artworks. And there were so many kids, and all the time, we had about 6 to 7 times, all the times were busy. We had face painting, balloon making, artworks, melody, so many activities, everybody. And here are some pictures, and I would like to read out the team members' names. Vaishali, Priyanka, Kavita, Satya, Shweta, Swati, Ananya, Shruti, Shreya, Swati, Ketana, Michelle, Tripti, Pramila, Shailaja, Manasa, Varma, Kalpana, Sonali, Sindhuja, Priya, Vishaka, Nikhilesh, Vivek, Sundari Leela Mataji, and Gautam. Let's give a big hand for all Thank you so much. And Ankita Mataji and Revati Mataji and Mamta Mataji were here. Mamta Mataji, Revati Mataji and Ankita Mataji, please stand out. Thank you so much. This team. Very okay, but I'm going to do it. Okay, they put so much of effort, it's worth 2 minutes, it's worth. Let's do it. And they generated good funds for the temple. $12,000 plus they generated. So, and the first one who is going to Katamita Mataji, is she here? Okay, and she's there first. Okay. Okay, Mataji, I hope she's going to come up here. We have a small video to play for, but I'm going to read out the names and there are some pictures, but let's read the names. Alpesh Prabhu and later Katamrita Mataji. First, let's give a big hand for Mataji. Okay. Alpesh Prabhu, Ashish, Ankita, Anurag, Charan, Alka, Vanita, Deepu, Deva, Dhananjay Prabhu, Deep, Dhyan, Deepika, Hetal, Himanshu, Jayashree, Kamlesh, Khanaya, Kalpataru, Joshi, Kiran, Krishna Jain, Mata, Somesh, Lavanya Mataji again, Lakshmi, Madhavi, Munna, Mitra, Meera, Meenal, Nikhil, Nilesh Prabhu, Naina, Nilima, Nandini, Peenal and her son, Pramila Ben, Pata Prabhu and Pratibha Prabhu, Rasika Mataji, Radhika, Ramesh, Rangaya, Rutul, Raj, Rekha, Veena Mataji, Radhika, Rinku Ben, Renuka, Ben, Shriji Leela Mataji, Snehal, Shraddha, Soumya, Shamala, Shweta, Sunil, Sandeep, Shrikant, Samantha, Shubhada, Sangeeta, Sunita, Sureka, Sanjay, Tejas, Uma, Usha, Vinit, Rajabhumi, Vishaka, Vishnu Bai, Yashoda, Ben, and there is a whole big Dosa team from CVA group. We had lot of members from there which are not here, but I would like to recognize them too. And there are different sub-leads, but Meera Mataji is here. I would like to request Meera Mataji to stand up. She led the Dosa team and there are other sub-leads. All of them led bake sale and it was such a great effort. Looking at the list itself, it shows how many participants are there. So I would like to call Katamrita Mataji, please. Yes, and this is the video to see their efforts. Wow, 22 items on the stage. There you go, the preparations.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Thank you so much, Katamrita Mataji and the entire 70 devotees team. Thank you so much. Next team, decorations team. Okay, that was led by me. And we have Bharati, Kiran, Lakshmi, Ketaki, Sumita, Hemangi, Chandramukhi, Ranya, Pavitra, Savita, Raj, Manasi Ganga Mataji, Mohamila Prabhu, Mahatikirti, Bhava Prasad, Prabhu, Tejas, Lakshmi, Soumya, Krishnanshta Mataji, Dharani, Ankita Mataji, Shrikant Prabhu, Chandana Mataji, and Sumrila Mataji, and Ankita Mataji. We had different teams. The hall and the outside decorations were done by Mahatikirti Mataji and Mansi Ganga Mataji. And the altar decorations were done by myself and Prabhu Mataji. And there is garlands that is going to come on the way end, but Janaki Mataji's team did the garlands. So we divided the works of teams. So let's give a big hand for the team members of the
To receive the award, here the lead is.
Next is set up Podila Prabhu's, sorry if we spelled your name wrong, Prabhuji. Set-up team was led by Krishna Podila Prabhu. I'm going to read out the names, but before reading, consistently for more than 1.5 months, following up with the set team, buying electricities and following up and lot of, and I would like to thank Alpesh Prabhu. He's there. Let's give a big hand for Alpesh Prabhu. It was such a manual work, laborious work, but he didn't give up. We had more than 27 tents, about 50 to 60 lights, 600 chairs, cleaning up 2 weeks before. And one thing I would like to mention, the tents, 27 tents, we had about 90 weights. If we have to rent them, it was costing about $800. So his team prepared those weights with the concrete and PVC pipes and everything just to save $800. So, but it was such a great effort. About 80 to 90 weights. 60. Okay, 60 weights. So let's read the names of the team. Madhukar Prabhu, Raj Prabhu, Mayank, Sumit, Raj Yadav, Rajkumar, Abhinav, Neeraj, Sandeep Patel Prabhu, Vrindavan Das Prabhu, Devavan Prabhu, Nilesh, Shrikant, Alpesh, Krishna Prema, Srivallabha Prabhu, Nagendra Prabhu, and there are a few other peoples, but let's give a big hand for them. Thank you so much, Krishna Prema Prabhu. And Alpesh Prabhu, please. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Next team. Yeah, it has been 20 minutes, 10 more minutes, I'll wrap it up. Okay, parking team. I would like to call Ramdas Prabhu and Satish Prabhu. He is from an outside organization. He was leading one day. So Ramdas Prabhu, please. This team, I can't thank enough. If any team lead, any team member, I get, okay, we will try to fill up. But Abhay Prabhu was not here. Literally, I was so scared because all of us, we are here, we are watching, you are in the event. you are witnessing and you are part of the event. But parking team is the only team who is outside on the streets, and total 6 to 7 hours they were covering outside. They don't know what is happening in the event, the entire event, 2 full days. And I cannot really thank enough this team. Without this team, I cannot do anything. So let's give a big hand. Let's meet the meet. Krish, Prabhu, Pawan, Sanjeev, Sachin, Ravi and Satish. There are some more members, but let's give a big hand for their efforts. Thank you so much. Cleaning team, Vrindavan Das Prabhuji, is he here?
He's in cleaning service.
I'm taking advantage. You are better off. So, are anybody from this cleaning team? Anyone? Madhukar Prabhu, Sanjay Prabhu is here?
Right here.
Sanjay Prabhu, please. So I'm going to read the names. Charan Prabhu and family and his friends. Krishna Prabhu, Sanjay Prabhu, Krishna Kodula, Krishna Prema, Lingaraj Prabhu, Madhukar Prabhu, Shrikant, Mani, Pawan, Rupanuga, Kanakaraju, Nagendra, Srinivas, Manasa, Aditya, Nagendra, Uday, Srinivas, Sanjeev, Sachkumar Prabhu, Vimal, Srivalla Prabhu, Sandeep, and 2 more devotees that we forgot. But Sanjay Prabhu, please. And this team stayed up till 3 a.m. on the 2 days. So let's give a very the last team to leave on the premises. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Let's see the pictures. You know, I couldn't capture, but there are a lot of efforts there. And Deepu Mataji and everybody on the action. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Next team, fundraising team. The whole team is running, but the money is coming from that team. So let's see. Fundraising team was led by Stoka Krishna Prabhu and the members Sangeeta Kapoor Mataji, Shyam Prabhu, Balram Prasad Prabhu, Sachkumar Prabhu, Prashant Tyagi Prabhu, and Stoka Krishna Prabhu. I would like to call Sangeeta Mataji, please. Let's give a big hand for them. We were more than $45,000 from this team. Thank you so much, Mataji. Next team. Yes, this is a special team. 1 man army, I should say. Sandeep Patel Prabhu. I just requested Prabhu one day, this is my desire. I was trying to implement this from past 7 years. 5 years back we implemented, we raised about $4,000, but we couldn't do it all these 5 years. So I requested, I only spoke to Prabhuji for 10 minutes and I explained him the team how to generate the money. He took it in such a way, he raised almost $10,000 single He had 15 to 16 sponsorships from different business organizations. That was a single army and did a wonderful work. Is Deepu Mataji here?
Yeah, she's here.
Deepu Mataji, please. She deserves it. You know what? He was going all weekends outside, so she deserves that. Thank you so much for all the efforts, Mamuji. Both of you. Marketing and communication team was led by Pratibha Prabhu. Pratibha Prabhu here. Okay. Anybody from marketing team, I would like to request to come over here. I want to take the names. Sandeep Prabhu, Sumamala, Saumya, Lalita, Rachna Mataji, Sandeep Prabhu, Saumya Mataji, I think the names are repeated, but all of the team, the flyers that you are seeing outside, any communication going out, the photography, Aditya Prabhu is right here. Let's give a big hand for the Prabhuji and especially one person, Chaitanya, Prabhu did all the photographs. Entire time he was going all around and taking the pictures. That was a great teamwork. Anybody from marketing team here? Anyone? Madhukar Prabhu, I would like to request you to collect it from their team on behalf of their team. Thank you so much. Thanks for the marketing team. Next team is welcome table team, like welcome and reception team, both teams. Sweetie Mataji and Kiran Mataji, I would like to call here. Sweetie Mataji and Kiran Mataji. The team members: Sweetie Mataji, Minta, Bhakti Priya Mataji, Chandana Mataji, Vidya Mataji, Kalpataru, Risha, Deepa, Usha, Minta Mataji, Bhakti Priya, Chandana, Vidya Mataji, Kalpataru, Risha, Deepa and Usha Mataji. And also I would like to read from the other team, Kiran Mataji's team. Did you give another slide? Yes. Go ahead, one more. Yes. Okay. And Kiran Mataji led the guest services. That is, members are Mansiganga Mataji, Rekha Mataji. Let's give a big hand for them. Thank you, Sweetie Mataji and Kiran Mataji. Thank you so much. The next team, we are almost done. Finance team. It was led by Stoka Krishna Prabhu, and I would like to recognize Deepa Mataji. All the bills and reconciling and everything together. And also Charan Prabhu is behind the door, behind the scene, but both of them, Mataji, please, Deepa Mataji. We get very late opportunity to recognize them. Alpha Mataji is here. Let's give a big round of applause. Prasad distribution team, I would like to call upon Prashant Prabhu and Mani Prabhu. Both of them, they led 2 days of the event. Mani Prabhu and Prashant Prabhu.
I don't want that. Okay.
Mani Prabhuji, thank you so much. I would like to read the names: Mayank Malik and Mayank Prabhuji's wife, Sumit, Kavita, Raj Raghav, Ravi Tyagi, Yash Tyagi and Umesh Prabhu, and Stoka Krishna Prabhu and Mahati Kirti Mataji. And there were a lot of other devotees. Charan and Prabhu got all the cutlery. Let's give a big hand for Charan. There were a lot of devotees on the Saturday. They came on the spot and they were serving. There were a lot of devotees. I would like to thank each and every one of the team members. Thank you so much. Winter program. This was one of the main theme of the festival. We would like to reach out to each and everybody who is coming there, and they are given the details of the Vitala program and educate them what the temple services are and how the construction is helping the community. I would like to call Kirti Prabhu and Mahati Kirti Mataji. Please come. Raised $9,000 on that day. More than that, we had so many email IDs. At least, Prabhu, how many email IDs we would have? At least 50 potential brick sponsors. So there is a big chance of that we need to do the follow-up. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I would like to read upon the names of the team members. Mahati Mataji, Ravikant Prabhu, Nagendra, Nilesh, Dharani and Srinivas Prabhu. Rupanuga, Prabhukishari Mataji, Lalita Mataji, Aditya Prabhu, Gangadhar Prabhu and Kanakaraj Prabhu. Let's give a big hand for the entire team. the DD department, like the whole team did it, but the garland making, it was such a great work. They had to spend at least 4 days. The entire team spent at least 2 to 3 hours. Janaki Kumari Mataji is not here. I would like to call Sunita Mataji and Mahati Kirti Mataji here to collect. The team members are Rajni, Goma, Sunita, Mahati Kirti, Hemangi, Prema Vishwari, Jyoti, Amita Mataji, and Sundari Mataji and Ankita Mataji. Big hand, such a Thank you so much for the entire team. There is one special team, Ruchira Mataji. She's not here, but the entire funds, ticket sales and everything was led by her. The Lakshmi was in that Lakshmi box, the big box. So it was around $13,000 to $14,000 we collected for the ticket sale. So that was a big, great effort, lot of sales. And Mataji is not here, but I would like to call Chandramukhi Mataji to collect the idea for Thank you, Ruchira Mataji, for taking up this. And special thanks to, I would like to call Chandra Mataji, our project manager. I'm pretty sure I might have definitely, even the festival leads, they might have missed a lot of volunteers. It's 200 to 300 volunteers, it's very difficult to keep track. But I would like to thank each and every one of them, and forgive me if I missed anybody's names, please forgive me. But let's give a big hand for the entire I would like to thank my husband Krishna Prema Prabhu, Srivas and Rajapriya for supporting
So thank you so much again. Thank you for business leave waiting, and it was very much needed. But last but not the least, give a big hand to Sumana.